So let's take a moment. Okay, here we are. I think now we are live. I think 7 seconds and I see the countdown. Before we start, let me just check so that we don't start talking and then you start seeing us in the middle of the conversation. We want that everyone has an opportunity to jump in and also, see us. Okay, from the very beginning. Great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our community. And this is another Expert Facebook Live. And today we are going to talk about digital readiness. Before we are going to jump into the topic, and believe me, we prepared something very special for you. Anna, good evening. And I know that we are in different places, so share with us, where are you now? How are you?
Hello, everyone. Haven't seen you for long, actually. So I'm in the warm Spain at the moment, and the topic is hot. The warm weather is here, and this live is actually connected to this remote work from wherever you are, because where are you, Julia?
I am in Krakow right now. Yesterday I was in Poland, in Katowice, for a project meeting. Tomorrow I am flying to Frankfurt, to Germany. And at some moment I just decided, okay, if I need to travel so much, let's combine it all. So now the schedule looks like having a meeting, dropping to another hotel. I'm now in the hotel room. Hopefully the internet will be stable. And then, tomorrow just for 3 days, full dance immersion, and then back to the office. As you say, this is what digital affords us to do, allows us to do.
Yes, I'm not sure about everyone, but I remember when it wasn't possible to live like this. But I'm very glad that it's possible now.
Great. I already see the first comments. Oksana, hello from Helsinki. Great to see you again. Hello, Sara. I know that you're watching us from Italy. Amazing. Guys, if you're just dropping in, also let us know from where you're watching, because I think in this context, that's the way, and this is how it should be. We just gather together online in Zoom or in the community from all over Europe and get into things that are hot. So let us tell you about what's going to happen tonight. First, I can tell you, we are not digital experts. It's not that for the last 10 years, we're busy only with digital and developing, for example, digital marketing, but we are NGO leaders. We are experts in the field of Erasmus Plus and ESC, and experience shows that in the last 2 years and 1 year, we really found our way of how to be online. We basically saw the trends of what is happening, managed to adjust. And today we want to share some of amazing cases from which we hope that you will get inspired and you will take the first steps into your digital path or digital transformation. Anna, anything from your side? What to expect for tonight?
Well, not much. You already said a lot, but the main point is that, yes, the times have changed and everyone has to be digitally seen and active, especially in the field of youth work.
Yes. Hello, Katarina. I know you're watching us from Poland. Hello from Milano. Amazing. Okay, guys, so we tuned in. One more thing before we jump into it. We prepared some kind of presentation with a couple of slides, with a couple of statistics. But how we want to build our conversation with Anna is that, we're also going to have a conversation. So we are going to jump into the slides together. We are going to analyze. We are going to make our assumptions and our interpretations, and hopefully, you can benefit from them and see the value in them. Just for a moment, I think, Anna, I am ready to open presentation. I think I am. So just give me a moment. Give me a moment to share the screen, and here it is.
And also, if during conversation you have any questions or comments, you can drop them. We can see your comments, and we can have this conversation not only between us but with you.
That's for sure. As I said, what we are going to talk about, this is our interpretation, and you might agree with us, you might not agree with us. If you don't agree with us, that's amazing. Drop your opinion, drop your questions in the comments, and let's brainstorm around the topic all together. So let's get into it. So digital readiness of a modern NGO. There are certain things that we noticed in the last couple of years, the changes that were caused, of course, by COVID-19, and they impacted us and nonprofit and grant sphere a lot. What we saw is that, first of all, NGOs need to fight for youth attention after COVID-19. What I mean by this is that before COVID started, the ratio of programs and potential participants was in a way that there was a certain number of programs and then there was a big competition. So young people actually applied and they needed to be selected. They were motivated to write motivation statements, to have interviews in order to get into the program, in order to go to youth exchange, a training course, or jump into EVS or ESC volunteering. And then organizations, they had an opportunity to choose those that are most motivated or that personally resonate to organizations. What happened during COVID? During COVID, all offline programs stopped. So youth programs got frozen, but there were still deadlines to apply for funding, to apply for grants. What it means, imagine that organization had 5 projects approved or 2 projects approved. In these 2 years, this NGO wasn't able to implement them, but there were deadlines coming, and in the next 3 or 4 deadlines, organization, let's say, got some other 5 projects. So instead of implementing 3 projects, suddenly organization ends up with 8 projects, and the deadlines are there close because every project has a limited project duration. So what it means, the number of projects in Europe is boosting. The projects happen every day, every week in all parts of Europe. And at the same time, there is a limited number of young people. Yes, a lot, but we started to fight for young people. We started to fight for their attention. What we started to do, we started to publish the calls, and young people apply, drop out, and then for this you don't need a super reason. The reasons are there. Okay, I decided to travel instead. I got an internship. I got accepted into a different program. Bulgaria doesn't sound so excited. I cannot travel directly, so I'm not coming. The travel budget is too little. I mean, what we heard in this last 2 years is a hell. I can write the book of excuses, but it doesn't help. This is a new reality. It could be that it will change in a couple of years when we get to norm, but let's see if there is another norm, because the budgets of the programs, European Solidarity Corps and Erasmus Plus, they grew. So more projects can be approved, more projects can be happening. And I don't think that it will be a reverse process. I think that from now on, we're in a new era, which is attention-based, and we need to promote ourselves and win the attention of young people. Another thing that we noticed, that programs and mobilities became blended and multi-staged. What I mean by it is that now you hardly can find any KA2 project or KA2 small-scale project, which is, again, a new opportunity, a new trend, a mobility, not mobility, partnerships that is available and which is promoted to newcomers or organizations with less experience. So today, hardly you can find a program which has only offline elements. All of them have online elements. So for example, there is an online kickoff meeting or online coordination meeting, several calls between the partners online. Even if we're talking about youth exchanges or training courses, very often organizations say that there is a training course offline, but afterwards there is mentoring online. So the blended mobility became so natural in the last 1-2 years that we cannot deny it will happen again and again. I would personally say that fully online programs are not so popular. Yeah, I mean, after COVID, we don't want to stay in our rooms and be in Zooms endlessly and spend hours in Zooms to learn something new. No, offline is still there. It is alive. We want communication. We want to meet people. We want connection. We want networking. But at the same time, the power is in blended, in having offline and online. Moreover, the program becomes multi-staged. And when I talk about multi-staged, I refer here not only to K2, but also to K1. Yeah, even and multi-stage, I don't mean that there is a training course and a training course and a training course. Yeah, even the most simple programs like a training course or use exchange, when we as organizers talk about them, we say, hey people, hey young people, or hey youth workers, it's not that you just come and attend a 7-day training course. It doesn't work anymore. Yeah, what we want you to do, let's meet before that. Let's have, first of all, a meeting, set and expectations. Yeah, then let's have 7 days offline. Afterwards, let's have some webinars, follow-up webinars, or mentoring online. Yeah, we want deeper approach to the topic, and what we want to see is that what we do offline, it is not abandoned there. Yeah, the interest to do something one time just for 7 days offline, it is changing. Yeah, it was working in the past, but now we need to do to do it differently. So that I'm not just a talking head, Anna, on these two, is there something that you want to add, you agree, or you see it in a different angle? Let me know. Anna, you're muted.
Now, very often when we see feedback from our mentees, when they apply with the project ideas and the assessors give feedback, there is definitely a phrase about digital aspect inside the project. Either, yes, it should be more blended, or the money should be used more wisely by adding the online activities instead of offline, yeah, or the dissemination of the results should be more digitalized to reach more target groups, for example, yeah. So this is not an option, yeah, optional anymore. This is what you have to keep in mind, and whether you want it or not. So you have to be digitally ready for it.
Yes, thank you.
Maybe, yes, maybe, well, maybe we will talk about it later, but it doesn't mean that every organization has to be on the same level, yeah? I worked with, and I still work with many groups and on different projects and different types of organizations and business and non-for-profits. And everywhere we have very different approach how to do this digitally, because we do everything digitally, but it's never the same tools, it's never the same skills people have, and this is fine. Yeah, you just need to understand how your team would like to approach this digitalization, yeah, if you need it, and what skills maybe you need to gain or train your teams and so on. So yeah, you don't need to feel bad or good or if you know or don't know something.
I mean, for sure, what I'm getting from what you're saying now is that we really need to know our outcome. Yeah, if you want to go digital, if you want to use digital, why do we need it? Because most probably we don't need to be fully digitalized with all the aspects. Yeah, I mean, it's never relevant to one organization. Yeah, but then we really need to know where we are starting, what is our point A, what is our outcome point B, and then to see what digital tools or channels or strategies we need to implement so that we get to the vision in point B that we want to create, for example, in the next 1 or 2 years. Okay, talking about this, one of the things that I was personally observing is that channels of communication changed. Yeah, if in the past having a website, you remember those times that everyone should have a website. We had this Info Synergy, Synergy Bulgaria website that we were just paying for hosting hell lot of money, and it was never attended. And what we see now, yes, the website could be a reference point for partners, but it's not even always the case, especially if you go for a long-term partnership and you establish partnerships through personal acquaintance or attending networkings and then having several calls. I would say that a personal contact, a personal touch are much more powerful here. At the same time, yeah, I mean, when we talk about our target groups and about young people, they don't search for websites anymore. They are there on the social media. And then once they see the call, the first thing that they search for is, okay, Synergy Bulgaria, Instagram, Facebook, what's this organization about, what it lives with. Yeah, they are not looking for portfolio anymore, for those pictures that you put there on the website specifically to demonstrate something. No, they want to see live updates. They want to go through highlights. They want to check stories. They want to see, okay, what is happening every day, and whether they want to become a part of this organization or their programs. Because as we said before, yes, there are so many opportunities at any moment, and every moment, both partners and our target audiences, they take decision. Yeah, should I even invest my time into it, or is it just loss of time?
This is if we talk about young people, but if that's your main target, yeah. If we talk about other stakeholders, I still think that website is quite important, because first thing after you meet a person, for example, on some networking event, you go to Google, tick, 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 you put the name, and it's not social media which comes up, it's the website, and your website has to be like presentable. This is your first or second opportunity to be to give the impression and start the conversation or relationship or partnership. Yeah, it all depends, of course. If you'll be talking about grant, about the funds, or the assessors, they of course look for something else. Absolutely, they look for the references online, maybe some portfolios on Salto or whatever. It depends what kind of project you are. So you need to keep in mind all stakeholders and choose different. So basically, website is not the solution for all people. Exactly. Especially if these are young people.
The next thing is that the standards for intellectual outputs grew. What we've been observing in the last 2 years, that generally the quality of projects is growing, the competition between projects is growing, the budgets are also growing, but it's disproportional between how much money is there in the national agency and how many projects are submitted. So what I personally saw from and heard from NA evaluators, especially when it was coming to K2 big scale projects, 50% projects have the outcome of app. We're not impressed anymore. I am not surprised. For me, one application is the same as the second, the third, the fourth. I don't see any difference. And moreover, I know that apps are not afterwards used. So people ask for a hell lot of money, for 100,000 euros to develop an app, and then nothing is happening to this app. So for now, what they want to see is that the intellectual outputs first, they make sense, they stand out, you have audience to share these intellectual outputs or results with, and that they are going to be sustainable. So if you check the application form, even of small scale partnership, when we are talking about a more localized, not a big impact that is expected to be created, they're asking how you're going to make your project results sustainable. So what happens when the project finishes in 1.5 years or 2 years? And then what we don't want, they don't want that it just dies. That there is a website of this project, and in 2 years you stop paying for hosting, and whatever was created from before, it just stays like outdated and maybe accessible by the consortium only. So these are the things to pay attention, and it's a part of the game. It's like the question is how you can create audience, how you can have a platform or a place where your intellectual outputs or result or dissemination steps will make sense and will be sustainable. And what is very much connected to it is actually communities. Yeah, building community is a new black. And just understand me correctly. Yeah, here we are not encouraging everyone tomorrow to start their community, to make a Facebook group and to start doing something. No, it's not about it. But what we saw is that times change very much. We need to be flexible, and we need to hold the attention of our audience, and at the same time, to develop and offer new products and new opportunities. To do so, having community or fans or advocates of your brand, people could be who are like really reading your newsletter or following your group or following your page, or you meet them regularly offline, or you have another way to communicate, I don't know, like they're in messengers. So having the community, building the community is much more sustainable, because when you just make an open call and you get some random people, I mean, that's hell lot of energy to be put into one-time program, into getting the attention of one person once. No, you want that this effort works for you later on, that this person shares with another person, that other people want to become a part of your programs, that other people talk about organization, they become advocates of your organization, they take your organization as role models, they get inspired by the organization. And I would say that this is what we are looking for, because otherwise, and I will give you later the example of how we were struggling this summer when we created a totally new product in Synergy Bulgaria, working for 5% or 10% of conversion between people who got interested and who actually attended. I mean, believe me, you don't have and you don't want to lose so much time on it. Anna, community.
Yeah.
What is your stand about community?
Well, I'm a big fan of, I've always been a big fan of communities, and even before digital communities. And I really believe in the power of communities and what changes can communities bring if right people with right tools and right mission are in charge. The community, I think personally, I don't know, in maybe 30 communities, and you as well, I mean, all of you who are watching and members, because we always in some communities, school communities, parents communities, I don't know, household communities, million communities, everyone choosing their own channels. Maybe it's WhatsApp community, maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's like newsletters once, I don't know, in half a year, but it's still community, of lovers of, I don't know, pistachio ice cream. It can be anything. So this community is very strong because we enter to it because we know the topic, we share the same values, we like the formats and so on. And it's up to, if you are leader or leaders of the community in your communities, in your countries or local surroundings and so on, youth communities, for example, it's very important to understand the members of the communities, what are the needs, what they like, and so on. Because very often, what I see that leaders of the communities are not communicating. They are just like one-way communication, and that's not a community. Then, in my case, in my observations, because the members between themselves, they have no communication channels and so on. So the community where everyone is equal and can do something together without leader to basically moderate this process, this is the new black, and everyone benefits of it. And then you see amazing results.
And I would say that this is what we are striving also here for. I remember when we started Erasmus Youth Academy, especially Russian-speaking community, and afterwards English-speaking, what was happening in the beginning that we were producing tons of content, spending hours per day to do it. We were there constantly making posts, going live, inviting people. And then only later on, when this momentum or impulse was rolling and rolling, we saw that our our group doesn't, it's not only about us anymore. It turns into the community where you make posts, other people respond, share their experience, make publications. Also in the next couple of weeks, there will be more experts sharing and having their lives, and we give space for it. We want more things to be hosted in the community, because exactly, it's very much about experience exchange, and then growing together. Before we jump into cases, because I promise that we prepared 3 amazing cases, those who are watching us live, or could be you will be watching in replay, let us know in comments. So now you saw what changed in the last 2 years, what we should react upon, or respond to. So let us know in comments, how ready is your NGO, do you think, is for this digital era and all the changes? And if you think that it's not ready, please put minus. If you think that you're super ready, you're super much in trend, you're going, like with the same speed as digital space is developing, then put plus. And if you think, something is happening, you're making some small steps, but at the same time, you could do much more, then put 0. So let's see where we are. All together, as a community, or those people who are watching right now, and it will also give us a bit of feedback of how much we should expand on the next cases and what was happening. Okay. Anna, I would ask you to check comments, and from my side, I will start like slowly. Okay, the first 0, slowly to get into the cases that we got this year and very recent cases, but at the same time, I'm also checking the feedback from the comments. Okay.
Yes. So another 0, we just use social media for communication.
And Ksenia, then the next case is very much for you. I can tell you. Okay, I'm starting. Anna, is there any other comments? Let's also, go through them. So, this is, I will switch to myself, to us with Anna for a moment. And afterwards, I will share the screen, but I want to also give a bit of background. So right now in Synergy, Bulgaria, me and my husband, Yasar, we are independent trainers, and we are partners in experiential learning programs in Oldevechte in the Netherlands. So what it means is that several times per year, we come there to deliver training courses on experiential learning. But not only delivering, we are partners. It means that for our training courses, we are also making production. So we are making promotion, we get people in, we keep in contact with people, we gather a team, and then we come, and together with the team, we prepare for the training course, and we deliver a training course. And afterwards, there is a follow-up, and this is how it is going. So what changed several weeks ago is that this time we decided to bring our photographer, videographer, SMM specialist, a part of our team, Lilia, because what we noticed is that in Oldevechte, in our event-wise programs, there are no visuals. So basically, when we are creating posters for the new trainings, for promotion, it's very limited. There are literally, I don't know, like 10 pictures from previous trainings that we are using and reusing, and we are already bored and tired of them. So what we decided to do, we decided to take Lilia. Idea was very simple. We take Lilia, we create great visuals, we also put some stories, and then we use these visuals in the future. We have a kind of photo bank and video storage, and then we keep reusing it. I can tell you that in the last half a year, we have been doing it for every training course. So we were taking her, she has got grasp of it, of how to shoot, how to make videos. We were practicing before with stories, with creating a storyline. So when we took her this time, we expected that it would be nice. It will engage people a bit, and then we see what happens. What happened was mind-blowing. And to show how mind-blowing it was, I will share the screen, because I I also gathered some statistics. So imagine that all the Wechte, Instagram had 950 people before we started. The last publication was done in 2021, over 1 year ago, and generally their timeline, not timeline, but newsfeed looks like volunteers who are just putting some things like there is winter in Oman, or we are working with horses. So, I mean, there was no strategy, nothing before. Yeah, and then basically we're like, okay, there is 1,000, there are 1,000 people, so let's see what will happen. As you can see in the first slide, our first stories, when we start 2 days before the training course with the preparation, we started, it got the reach of 485 people. Yeah, the math is very clear. It was 50% conversion. Just to let you know, if you're not an expert in Instagram, the normal conversion of followers who watch stories is 10%. It was 50%. And when for 2 days, we had it 50%, 40%, when the engagement after the poll was 100 votes out of 350 people who watched, we were like, okay, it looks like we are doing something right. So as you see, yeah, in the next screenshot, so basically our numbers, like they went through the roof with 15,000% of accounts engaged, accounts reached, total followers. Also, we got some new followers in this period. Yeah, accounts reached, so over what they had as subscribers. Again, engagement was crazy. And it's all nice. And you might say it's all nice. And first, I mean, to tell the truth, first we were shocked that it's happening. Then we got excited about it. And then it's like, okay, let's see what we can do. And now there will be something striking. We were doing it for 10 days, 7-day program, 2 days of preparation and 1 day follow-up. In this time, we closed the group for the next choice training for the second stage. 6 people that is coming in the next 2 weeks. We got in the first 72 hours after 72 or even 48 hours after the end of the program, 12 applications for the next choice program that is happening in February. 12 applications, and people are, just to give you the context, these are open call trainings. So people pay 500 euros for participation, and people pay their traveling to be a part of it. Yeah, it's not Erasmus. So we got 12 applications for 24 maximum spots, which is 50%. And already now we have 18 and 12 of them paid. We got 6 applications for the next event-wise program, and we got 10 people who want to come and voluntarily assist in the next program. Yeah, if we were talking business and marketing, these numbers, they go through the roof. And for me, this is an example of how it's not about pictures, it's not about good photos. It's also about using stories and social media and Instagram for certain messages, for promotion, for getting participants, for making sales. Yeah, if we're talking marketing wise. Just for fun, you can find on Instagram all the Wechte, I think without any slash or anything, and we saved in highlights event-wise, so you can see the whole storyline that we built. But why I'm giving this case? Yeah, this is a case when all the Wechte has a very strong following. I mean, people who were on their programs, they were highly impacted, and generally 80-90% of people who come to the training courses, they come by recommendation. So brand is there. Yeah, this example I give for those who already have brand and have followers. But here I also give the example of how the right social media, because they also have 10,000 followers on Facebook, but it didn't work this way. Because it's a page, because Facebook algorithms don't promote pages, they promote communities, they show any post on the pages to a very small number of people. And also we were getting even smaller numbers on Facebook stories than on Instagram stories with having the same content. And again, the numbers on Instagram, 1,000, we got average 350, we got 250 for 10,000 on Facebook. So how for us finding the right channel, and in this case it was Instagram, and yes, we got some experience in building the storyline and then messages that we want other people to hear, how it helped us to create outstanding results. Yeah, and for me this is a story of asking yourself, First of all, do you have a crowd? Do you have a following? Do you have your audience? Or actually, every time you're going on the open market, you go to huge Erasmus groups for 50,000 people, you get participants that come once and they don't even remember the name of your project or organization in the next 2 months. Yeah, or do you have people, it can be on the local level or international level, yeah, who want to be a part of your programs, who are looking forward to see the dates of the next program, who are following the topics of your programs, yeah, who want to be a part of it, who afterwards want to come and volunteer, who want to become your partners in the future, and then, yeah, reaching them and building communication online with such a group is a whole different story. Meantime, Sarah, also I see 0, and Olympia, hello from Italy. Hello, Olympia. So yeah, for this case, if you have any questions, because I think I got very much emotional here, and I was so stricken that I think I cannot tell the story neutrally. Drop them in comments, and yeah, and then I will answer the questions. But meantime, Anna, what do you think? I mean, now you heard could be the story for the first time, like with so many details. Yeah, what would be your, I don't know, like opinion or assumption why it worked, or how come it went through the roof?
Yes. So Instagram is not a channel, for example, for our organization, because we mainly work with young people through a different channel. Yeah, our young people are a bit younger, and they don't use Instagram for chatting and so on. But still, I know quite a lot about Instagram. Well, firstly, it went through the roof because they didn't use it for a long time. It's just technical thing. Even if your personal account, you can see when you have a gap, for example, of a month, yeah, or even more longer, then you will get the very first stories and posts will reach a lot of people, and that's great. So you can use it. Even, for example, your organizations at the moment are silent in Instagram. You can take this case and do the same thing as Julia said, yeah? So start posting and so on, but know that these people, you have to engage also after this campaign, because they are already there and they need to be engaged afterwards as well. Or again, go silent and have a gap, and in 1 month or I don't know, 2 months go again. But also, yeah, because yes, those people signed up for this account because they've been there, they know, yeah, it's personal touch, it's a connection, and of course everyone would like to support the project, and because they've been already probably there, they have their emotions in memory, how it was, and they would like to live through them again, yeah, by watching the stories and comparing, oh, in our case it wasn't like that, or something like this, or looking for something similar. So it's all about, like, yeah, emotions, and the more moments you show in those stories or posts, or the more details you give, for example, the more they would like to search for it.
Here you're very right, because these trainings, I mean, it was 40th edition, yeah, I mean, this is the same training, it is just fine-tuned a bit. Because it's an open call training and it's super complicated, and the idea here is, I mean, the product is amazing, the product is great, yeah, how it can be perfected. And basically how we were putting it for people, we were saying, hey guys, I mean, if you want to relive your training, yeah, I mean, join us and watch in highlights or in stories. And people wanted to release the training. People wanted to get images from their own training because they had amazing experience. But of course, after 1 year, 2 years, even 6 months, yeah, I mean, it's all gone. There are so many experiences now these days that it's going a bit away. And also it was a reminder. So even those people who are watching, and then suddenly we started to get applications for the second stage. They're like, oh my God, I had so much fun. Actually, I wanted to continue. I want to come to the second step of the training. And yeah, for me, what was exactly working here is that we started to work precisely not with new people, not trying to promote to new people. We're working with those people who are already fans, and then they helped us to promote it further on, and then they wanted to become the part of the next training.
Yeah, also what I think about this case, that well, Instagram is a visual channel, so people go to Instagram either to dream, like they're looking for nice pictures, to, I don't know, beautiful people, places, and so on. That's why the bad quality pictures don't work on Instagram. And that's what we see a lot in NGO accounts, that some blurred or dark or some pictures, they just don't work there. They don't look good, and it's quite opposite. They are anti-promoting your NGO. So it's better to put less pictures or stories, but in good quality. And nowadays with different apps, you can do it very easily. Yeah, and I think in this case, because there was a dedicated person who has a taste, who has her own style, who made effort to I don't know, combine them or put some music and so on. I was following as well, so that's why I know this worked. Yeah, so it was professional basically.
Yes, and I can tell you, I mean, we are having this approach for the last half a year. It's one of the best investments as an NGO we are making. Yeah, we are investing in the person whose job is to do this, because I see that how we communicate through different visual is so powerful. That it brings many more benefits. It's really, really not about pictures. I mean, if you think that photographer, videographer, a person who works with social media, it's about putting something online, no, that's not about it. Yeah, I mean, it's not about just putting some content, it's about messaging and having the outcome in mind. And here we have a comment about from Olympia that I use more LinkedIn, Facebook than Instagram. Yeah, which is totally fine. Yeah, I gave this Instagram example, and my next example will also be about Instagram, but it will be a totally different case because the target audience was there. But what it is also
if
about,
I can,
yes, sure.
If I can just quickly about LinkedIn, because I use it a lot as well. So this is a great that you said it, because Instagram and LinkedIn absolutely totally different on different horizons, the social media. And if I would start to putting some stories or very emotional pictures on LinkedIn, this would be absolutely inappropriate. And this would make me look silly and unprofessional. So that's the beauty of different channels of communication, because in every channel, you shouldn't copy paste your content, but create a different angle of the same project, for example. And LinkedIn is amazing and very powerful source, but definitely for a different target audience.
And then basically, if you understand what's your outcome by communication in social media or online, and where is your target group, then you choose the channel. Yeah, because choosing a platform is choosing where your target audience is. And one of the mistakes that I see for a lot of NGOs, and we were also doing it in the past, being present everywhere. So we have Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, and you also have Viber or WhatsApp group, and nothing is working. And then you have a publication once per year there. And of course, there is no result out of it. So I am really a fan of focusing on one or two platforms, could be maximum 3 platforms, but then you know what kind of content and for whom, what is your tone of voice in this every social media, and what you want to get out of it. And to start with this, I will share my second case. And my second case is exactly about how to use a certain channel, very, very targeted. Okay, so let me share. So give me a moment, and I will also need in some moments to take a charger. So good. My second case is about Synergy Bulgaria Instagram for team volunteering. So in short, we in Synergy Bulgaria, we focus on Facebook. Why so? Because the European programs and all these groups connected to Erasmus Plus and European Solidarity Corps, they are all on Facebook. Organizations are on Facebook. Our community, Erasmus Youth Academy, is also on Facebook. So it really doesn't make sense to develop an Instagram which will duplicate Facebook and what we do on Facebook. Yeah, and it so much makes sense to stay on Facebook. I mean, yeah, because even for the reason that half of our target group, which is youth workers, experts, and professional and managers, they are on Facebook. But then we started to ask ourselves, okay, maybe it's time to develop Instagram, because Instagram is for young people, and then young people are not so active on Facebook. And at the same time, we started to think, okay, if we want to target young people, then what would be the difference between our Facebook and Instagram? Yeah, how it's going to be, how it's going to go, what we are going to use it for. Yeah, because what we didn't want to do, we didn't want just to duplicate information. So we started to think about it. And this summer, we started our experiential learning center, 80 kilometers from Sofia. This is a house with 7 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, a lot of grounds. It is located next to a Roma village. So also what we wanted to do is to establish connections with local people, and then to offer young people opportunity for co-living, for improving their mental well-being, for detoxification, this digital detoxification. And this is how we came up with the idea of starting to make their team volunteering. So we have our quality label, we got the projects approved, and we got money. And then we started to search for young people. This summer, we had 2 projects. And the contrast between these 2 projects is huge. Because for the first project, we didn't get enough people. It was designed for 15 volunteers. We got 12 volunteers. It was very hard. We were struggling. We basically said no to a lot of people because somehow we put in our heads that gender balance is crucial. So we turned away good candidates, good female candidates. We ended up with not have enough people. We still ended up with gender balance to be very much shifted towards female audience. And then, yeah, in the last week, basically what we faced, we couldn't persuade people anymore. We couldn't find people. How we interpreted it and what we learned from it is that, yeah, it was something very new. There is no brand around it. No one knows our Synergy House. No one knows us in this regard. So we need to start building a brand around it. So how we started and what was the decision that we took? We decided that our Instagram will be devoted mostly to volunteering. And I will show you in a moment how it looks. So this is our Instagram. And first of all, I can share that it is very youth-ish. Yeah, so look at the visuals, look at the colors. We wanted to keep it youth-ish. This is not Instagram that I'm showing to partners. If we're starting a small scale or big scale partnership, I wouldn't send my partners here. So our Facebook, this is the overlap of youth and professionalism, our Instagram only for young people. So we use Instagram both as a portfolio as for young people, and second, we show and we create content that will be there for them if they want to become volunteers. So for example, this post is testimonials. This is, I think, here inside pictures and videos. This is from the first volunteering. Again, there are a lot of pictures and videos. I will just not open them here. We also have here highlights. Next chapter, it was our second volunteering project. New Era was first volunteering project. Synergy House is how we were transforming the house. And in the future, we will also create basically a guide where we put all together everything about it. What we also include, we include testimonials. So for example, our volunteer Lilia, and she's sharing there about her life in Bulgaria and how it is with her for her with us. This post is about our house and the reconstructions, also for young people, what they can do in Bulgaria. We also have a post from Flora about volunteering. So what we started, we also share about becoming a long-term volunteer. So what we want to do with Instagram, we want to here create the image of organization that actively works with volunteering. We know what we do. It is fun. People love it. Yeah. And here our voices are young people. So young people share, young people get give testimonials. Young people, our volunteers were writing a lot of these posts, and we were creating a lot of content about volunteering. And later on, when we promoted even on Facebook, we were sending people immediately to Instagram. We're like, do you want to see how it was? Do you want to know how it is to be a volunteer? Go to Instagram. We also made a mistake that first our visuals were a kind of not so juicy. They were, they were okayish. And then we saw, okay, this doesn't work. So we changed them into very bright, very catchy, and we started to get a lot of applications. Our whole info pack, our whole post, it was about get experience, live with people from all over Europe, create your personal project, leave a mark. And people were so excited to leave a mark. They were making benches and tables and fireplace. They were painting walls. Again, if you want, you can go to our Synergy Bulgaria Instagram and see everything that they created. But this is nuts. And it resonated to young people. They're like, okay, then I want to stay for 1 month in Bulgaria and to have a similar experience. And for the second project, we got over 100 applications. We had over, I think, 30 or 40 interviews, and we had more people than the project was for. So basically, we had the first plan 10 people, but since we changed a bit the duration, we spoke to the national agency, we got 14 people. And then we had to say no for a couple of people who we loved, but we just couldn't stretch the project. Yeah, and then for me, this is exactly the story of how to use a social media with a very clear purpose. Yeah, and in our case, this purpose was we use it only for team. We also publish a couple of other things. Yeah, that it's not only about volunteering. We want people to see other activities, but that's not the focus. We use it for our volunteers, for our future volunteers, that they have their reference points, they see it, they feel connected to it, they want to come, and afterwards they want to talk about it. Because strategically for us, team volunteering and volunteering is a big part of Synergy Bulgaria. Anna, so you want to jump into the third case, since I know your time is limited? And then again, guys, if you have any questions about this case or our insights about creating this profile, or what's what thinking about, what was our thinking, how we, there are certain questions that are very relevant to you. Of course, I will expand. But for now, Anna, I give it to you.
Yes. That's a good example how to talk to your target audiences. And as Olympia said, she uses more LinkedIn, Facebook than Instagram. Yeah. So probably you are not a young person looking for volunteering opportunities. Probably you're looking for something else. So, and that's why several years ago, we created a Facebook community. Yeah. Which firstly was created for Russian-speaking NGO leaders, but then we very quickly realized that it's not very clear target audience as well, because most of them couldn't use the Erasmus opportunities, many of the actions. So that's why we basically made our research, understood the need, understood that the market is too niche, and after the trial product, we went into the English community development, which was very scary at the beginning, but it actually worked very well because the need was there, the format was right. We did a lot of research. We conducted many interviews. We all the time asking you something, creating polls, asking for your feedback and so on. And that's how we try to develop the community content and the formats. So of course, this channel, the let's say Facebook community, Facebook group format is not the only part of the project which is run by two organizations, Lifezone Group and Synergy Bulgaria. We have a website which has crazy numbers of visits, and this is because there is certain keywords inserted, in the search engine optimization. Everyone is looking for Erasmus opportunities. I have my number there. People are calling with not very relevant questions all the time, because Erasmus is huge, and we only focus on youth aspect, and only for leaders of the project and NGO leaders and so on. So we found our niche, and we know where those people are, as you say, in Facebook. So that's why the channel was chosen as a Facebook group, and it's quite easy to maintain and so on compared to others. We know not many, but several other communities of Erasmus as well, who decided to create their own platform online, and I spoke to them as well, and it's another option, of course, but it takes a lot of efforts to bring back the people to the platform, log into the platform, go through the format and so on. While in the Facebook community, it's always there. You get all the notifications, reminders. You don't need to update the technical sides. It's all coming automatically. Of course, there is other limitations and so on, but at the moment for us, it's the best channel to use. But if to talk about community itself and why it brought, why it came up, this is because during COVID mainly, we realized that we can't do our work properly offline anymore, but we would like still to continue to work with people and youth workers and continue with our projects and programs. There were many questions. I don't know, raise the questions, talk to people, complain, I don't know, have fun and so on. So
discover and discuss the new program, because when it came out, no one knew what is coming, and when new activities appeared, everyone's like, okay, so what is happening? What are we doing with them now? How does it work? What is accreditation? And this is what we started to unfold in our community.
Yes, and I remember when we just started the English one, and when we started to invite people via different channels again, through personal contacts, through our newsletters, through databases which we had, through Facebook groups and so on. People had a lot of hesitation. Oh, another Facebook group, why should I join? And so on. And it's great that from the beginning, we were a little bit different. We had our plan of content, development, different formats and so on, which were later copied as well by others, which is great because we like competition and so on. But it brought a lot of opportunities for our members to interact. So to meet each other, to create projects, to discuss, to share expertise, to change, I don't know, thoughts about one or another thing, and that was the main idea, communication. And we know many projects already where partners found each other within our community, and that's a heart-warming fact. Also, we can align our project ideas with a long-term development plan of our organizations or partner organizations with whom we do other. And actually, as you maybe already noticed, some project results we can also disseminate through the community, because the target audience is there, and this is good. Good channel to project the results, to show them, to interact with the target group.
Yes, but what is important here, and here I really want to highlight that we never abuse our community. Yeah, it's not about publishing, just making some posts so that we can add a link to the final report. No, that's not the idea. And I also don't believe that this approach can work long term. But for example, if in our projects we create something that is super valid, like in a way, for example, we already know that you're waiting for a key to small scale project writing challenge because we shot it already with Anna and now it's being edited and all the materials are created and it's a part of a project and we are going to have it in the community before the next deadline. We know that this is relevant. We know that this is what you're looking for. Yeah, and then it makes sense to put it as a part of the project, but it also makes sense to offer it to our community members. Yeah, because there is a fit. But at the same time, if I have a project about integration of Ukrainian refugees, I wouldn't share it here. It's simply not relevant. Yeah. And then for me, this is a part of the respect towards people who decided to become a part of the community and gave the trust that here they will find value and support. And I find it's important, like I'm not only talking about our community, but if you create something of your own, yeah, then what kind of content you offer people, what kind of interaction, how the topics you are discussing relevant to them, yeah, how it is really win-win. Anna?
Yes, and what we discovered within 2 years, soon will be 2 years. We discovered endless opportunities and endless needs, what we see from the research, and that's incredible. People want to become trainers, project managers. They're looking for internships. We think already how to respond to those needs. We have some ideas, some project ideas, maybe some, I don't know, even Erasmus project ideas, where we can help with those requests. Of course, we would like to enlarge our team, and we would be very happy if some ideas or proposals or anything are coming. Some of you do it, and that's great. Yeah.
And Anna, let me share,
yes.
because I think it was genial. So guys, last week we had a mastermind between 4 organizations, mine, Anna's, and one from Finland, one from Spain. So the idea is that in mastermind, we come with our pains and then we help each other to resolve or brainstorm the ideas. And what it appeared, it was something outstanding that for all of us, we struggle with having a team, with getting new team members. And the biggest pain is project managers. Yeah, because in our organizations, we have several projects that we are running, but still we miss people who will be full-time or part-time engaged in running these projects. Because for now, as NGO leaders, we put too much time into actually running. Yeah, instead of, for example, forming long-term partnerships or developing strategically or finding new opportunities. And then Anna was like, I know what, let's create the school of project managers. There are so many young people who want to learn how to run projects, who want to become part of NGOs, but at the same time, it's either volunteering, which is not paid, yeah, or they need to start from scratch and do everything from mistakes and write their own project. So somehow it's very curvy. The path is very curvy. What if we create a small scale partnership or even big scale partnership where we educate these people how to run projects? We give them our projects for training, and afterwards we are ready to hire them, and we are ready to put our word and offer other organizations to hire our project managers. And we're like, this is genial, because it's such a huge pain, and at the same time, solution is out there. And for this, I can totally see that if we go for it and we write, then for sure we'll be offering it in our community, because we know how many young people came here to exactly learn how to write projects and how to run projects. But also we know that the second part of community are successful NGOs who miss having a strong team. And Anna, I see from Ksenia, bravo. Yes, Ksenia, it was genial. This Anna's idea, it was mind-blowing. And for me, this is example of how we work on our projects and build community out of the need. So we're not just hallucinating. It's like, you know what? I like the topic of coaching. Let's do something coaching related. No, we're like, oh my God, it's so painful I'm ready to pay money that someone covers the pain, and vice versa. Yes.
Yes, we see your comments. Yes. So I'm sure, yes. So you're sharing about your social media and so on, and some ideas and the comments, and that Anna, I'm not very young, but I had the opportunity to meet Julia. I didn't mean that you're young or not young. I meant that you're a young person who looking for volunteering opportunities. So when talking about channel, but would like to continue a bit in a faster speed because we are a bit over our planned time. And basically this community, what we created with your help, of course, and your contributions, and we hope that it will continue like this, and even maybe more, we will be more active, more impactful, and so on. And we already can see the impact we're creating. I mean, not we too, but the community is creating, and this is just amazing. It will, as any impact, it will be very hard to measure it because we don't know every single person's feedback. But from those people who we get feedback, it's very positive. It creates a lot. We will try by before the second birthday to summarize all the data which we collected and researched to see how much we done in 2 years, just for us also interesting, and to measure some results. It will be, I think, very big success. Also,
Anna, I'm sorry, but I also I really believe that now we are becoming more and more practical. So if we remember our last, or actually not last, but the first offline programs that we created with you, which was Ideathon in September. Yeah, I mean, the outcome was very straightforward. You come for 6 days, you write K2 small scale, and you submit the project. Yeah, and the numbers are there, like out of participants, more than 12 projects, because they also work together, were applied. Now in the next 3-4 weeks, we'll get to know the results. So basically we know that we created a very direct impact. It's not about increasing the skills or competencies. No. People came, learned how to write, wrote projects, submitted, and here is the result. And yeah, I believe that community reinforces these kind of things very much. Yeah, I'm giving back to you. And guys,
yes.
I will go. I know that Anna, she can be leaving us a bit earlier, but no worries. I will go through all the comments and check if there are questions and expand on them. So this we will cover. Yes, Anna.
Yes, I wanted to go very quickly through some things which people always say we talk about digital readiness. Yeah, why people are resistant to go digital online. And what we hear, it's always, we don't have time for it. We're just a small team. We don't have people who would do it. It's expensive. We don't make a website or buy domain or hosting and so on. Okay, that's all great, but actually digitalization, or whatever you want to call it, digital readiness or digital actions, which you will do hopefully soon in your NGOs, it's quite opposite, because everything what you're going to do, or most of it, will save your time, your money, and your people's resources. If you optimize project management, if you go with the digital tools, and of course it will require a little bit of training to all the team members of the project or internal team and so on. But when everyone will be on the same page, it will actually go very quick. So you can also automate some work processes like communication with your volunteers, with your stakeholders, with members and so on. And you can always, yeah.
I'm sorry, I think you should change slide. What is the next slide? I see it on the next slide, what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I've changed it. Maybe it's for So now?
Checking it out. It's still blank for now. Okay. Yes. Perfect. Perfect.
Yes. So if you automate some work processes, it will be saving you a lot of time and so on. Also, of course, you will increase team productivity because everything will be there, timed with the deadlines, with the clear tasks, and so on. You can see it. You can see it very. Can you hear me? Good. So, of course, the communication which you can do via digital way, we already discussed it, different channels, I don't know, social media and so on, websites and so on. You can communicate with different target audiences in different tone of voice, yeah, different pictures, images, I don't know, and so on. Personal branding if you have it and so on. Of course, online will give you even more fundraising options to generate income or differentiate your income sources, because you can add or remove or create campaigns, be visible and so on. So we don't have money for it. It's not excuse anymore, because actually it will bring you money if you use it very wisely. It will bring you more inclusion options. For example, those groups which were hard to reach. In our case, for example, we work with, I don't know, with young moms, with young people in rural areas and so on. So before it was quite hard to reach them, to engage them in the events. Now, through digital, it's quite easy. Anyone can join, be muted, I don't know, close the camera, but still be there and participate, and that's amazing. And I've been in this situation myself, and I'm actually during COVID was very happy that, oh, now I can be anywhere on all conferences, all meetings and so on. So I didn't feel excluded. Of course, you can create more visibility. Yeah, it doesn't matter of your work, of your impact you do in the communities, of your plans, of people behind. Maybe you got some awards you want to share information about. Of course, the results of the projects, which are now required, not only now, but before as well, required in your projects or Erasmus projects. Yeah. And my favorites are last two. It's the remote work opportunities. You no longer need to be in one place with your team. It brings you more options for hiring. For example, in our team, we all live in different countries, different towns, and so on. We come together several times a year to see our annual plans and actions and strategies, but everyday communication goes through different channels from all over the world, basically. Also, as Yulia, now we can travel and I don't know, enjoy life, do some other things on the way, yeah, without interrupting, which brings us to better work-life balance. Basically, if you in search for it, and you can do much more with less efforts if you plan everything accordingly.
Yes, and or work double.
And
like
the last thing, what I wanted,
like it happened to me last year
share,
when we were.
Where to start? Well, you have to start with, as we 1 hour and more, a little bit more talked about, from your target audience. Who you talking with? Yeah, where are these people? Are they in LinkedIn or Instagram? What language do they use? Do they like picture or text? Do they, I don't know, like red or black? Yeah, so this is very important. You have to do a little bit of analysis and then start your communication plans. Let's not call them strategies because it's very big word. Maybe we'll talk about it later, but at least a plan how you're going to talk with them. And for each task, as we discussed, it's a separate communication plan because it's a separate target audience, and it doesn't work if it's everything in Facebook or everything in LinkedIn, and so on. Of course, your branding should be based on the mission and vision.
So it can't, if you, I don't know, very professional organization, you wouldn't be very colorful and so on. Yeah, you have to think about all these moments if you going so deep into it. And very important thing, which sorry for my noise. Everyone is back from their things. So the collection and analysis of data. So it might sound very big, but actually it means that, I don't know, just go through your Gmails or emails, yeah, and take all the emails from your participants of your previous projects. Start communicating with them, I don't know, reconnect with them, yeah, to see what else can you do in the future. What happened actually with all the vector. Yeah, so if the data was there, the people were there, but no communication. When we started to communicate, there was a response. So it's very important now to keep this response, to maybe engage in the future events or some other product services. I don't know, maybe these are your future donors or partners, or I don't know, yeah, what are your tasks. And another thing which for anything in our life is just do it. Don't procrastinate. Don't think that, oh, I will do it sometime. No. And just do it is a very simple task. Maybe even tonight, just Google your name or Google your organization's name and see what other people see first when they type your name in. It's very interesting. I recommend to do it every year because you will be amazed if you're active, yeah, what other people actually can say about you or repost or share. And it's up to you later to see how you act in the future to avoid or opposite, to reinforce such posts about yourself.
Yeah. Now, from my side, I would add a couple of things. Yeah, from this slide, there was something about branding, which is based on the vision and mission. Yeah, for this part, guys, we were creating NGO Sustainable Months, and it's still in guides. And there were really several posts of how to analyze and redefine your vision and mission and values, and how to start communication out of them, because I really believe that they are the foundation of what you do, for whom you do, and where you will be in some 5-7 years. Also, in these NGO Sustainable Months, there are several posts exactly on branding and how to create visual and non-visual communication with your target groups, and also who are your personas. So these things we were covering. So could be now, after this webinar digital readiness, you would want to reconsider it, yeah, to go back. We already have this content in the community. I will also duplicate in the comments if you're not quite sure where to find the guides. But really, I mean, this could be your first steps. Yeah, you don't need, again, some other course on digital readiness. You can start with it and make the first steps. Because, yeah, as Anna said, just do it, don't procrastinate. Believe me, 100% I'm sure whatever you think will be working or not working, most probably is wrong. Yeah, for now we are living in our assumptions. We think we know our target groups, we think we know their needs, we think we know what exactly is going to work, but most times when we start doing things for the first time, our assumptions go totally wrong. So what is needed is just stop, look, correct, take action. Yeah, do an action, then stop to see, okay, does it bring result? It doesn't bring result. Still there is no engagement, we don't have any results, we don't have any participants. Okay, so what do I correct? What is the next step? What do I do differently? And then only by trial, because all our organizations, yeah, we are different. Of course, we can steal from each other. We can get inspired by each other. Of course, there are certain things that are universal, but the specific case with your target group, with your localization, yeah, could be with your country, your language, or specifics of your national agency, or specifics of your program, or specifics of how you do, yeah, it will be a bit different. So instead of creating a perfect plan of how you're going to rock it in the next year, start doing now. And again, as Anna said here, I cannot not agree. I agree 100%. make analysis. It's not only about taking actions, it's about also checking whether these actions work. What is the feedback that you are getting? Does anything change? And then out of it, for sure, you can start growing things. Because, yeah, I mean, digital is not rocket science. And I find it totally fine, totally okay, totally reasonable that as NGOs, we can play with it. We have the luxury to play with it. And especially when we have fund, when we have grants, the playground is there. We're not businesses who are losing tons of money for every campaign that is not working because it wasn't well thought out or wasn't researched enough. So we are really in a safe environment, and the best we can do, start going for it. Thank you, Anna. Anna, do you need to run now?
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah, I have to go, but I see some comments. Maybe you can go through them, or if you have questions, Julia is here. I really thank you for being with us. And if you have any questions, put them in the community, and I will be, yeah, happy to answer them.
And then thank you, Anna, a lot. For the rest, I will stay with you for some 5-7 minutes to go through the comments, questions, and and answer them. So yeah, I saw from Olympia. Yes, Olympia, we are both in love with Olduvechta and the magic place. It's an amazing place to come back, and I really feel very honored to have an opportunity to be there some 4 or 5 times per year and to deliver what we deliver. Ksenia, Instagram and LinkedIn, we started to think that we should create a Telegram chat for community members for their communication. Yes, if you have a community, if you have members, especially if you do it on the local level, it would be great to have some chat because, yeah, Instagram, LinkedIn, so most times it's in one direction. Yeah, you post something, people consume information. Yes, they can write some comments, they can give short feedback, but what is important in the community is to create space that they communicate with each other. And for this, what can be used is, for example, Facebook group, or it can be any chat in Messenger. I know that you're working also with Russian-speaking audience, and Telegram there is popular. At some point, we were making a research in our community what messengers are popular, so that we create also chat and partners finding space for Erasmus Youth Academy. What we saw is that Telegram wasn't very popular. WhatsApp is the most popular and is used by, I think, 50% of our community members. Still, it doesn't have the functionality. So we haven't done it yet, but we will give it a shot with trying to develop in Telegram, and then we see if it works or doesn't work. I would say if you have this assumption, really go for it. If it doesn't work, you can always stop it. You can say sometime, hey guys, yeah, I mean, it's not working, or we will publish from time to time, or you change the content or the approach, because yeah, you can totally play with it. You can try out and see what will work. You can start posting different comment, different engagement, different interaction, and then see what resonates. Just one thing which is important: if you start building communities, there should be a community moderator. So don't expect that you just create Telegram and suddenly people start sharing, meeting, going for coffee, supporting each other. Yeah, be ready that you need to invest energy and show people the opportunities. So to create, hey guys, there is this event, let's meet there. Or who can give advice where, I don't know, like where to get coffee, or where to rent something, or where to find an apartment, or whatever is the topic of your community. So that basically you show that this is okay, and that there is a response, and this is a safe place to do so. But again, with every community, it starts with investing time. When we started Academy, we were investing 6 hours of our personal time every day. I mean, it was insane, it was crazy, but we were so passionate about it that we were ready to do so. Mert. Instagram only to reach young people as potential participants. What comes to my agenda now is creating a community, even doing it via a small-scale partnership. Okay, here the context is yeah, is very concise, so I cannot see all the details. For sure, what sounds right in Instagram and young people, because what we also saw is that hashtags work. Young people on Instagram, yes, they are checking it. Geolocation works, so this could be great. Creating a community, yeah, here there are questions. So community for what? If you start putting these young people who are part of your programs, what they're going to do there, what will be the benefit for them to stay in the community? Because if it's just a space, most probably they will get bored. What mistake we made with Synergy Bulgaria a couple of years ago, we had local participants and we decided to make a local Facebook group where we will put personal development content and share some other events and things happening in Sofia. It totally didn't work. I mean, people didn't need this space because we didn't know the need. We just wanted them for our benefit. And I think this is one of the mistakes that organization can make. If this is for you and you do it something for you, for example, to develop a project or to keep these people in one place, then it's not going to work. You really need to understand what people want. And as an example, I can give you, at some point, we started to do Zoom networkings. Yeah, for us, it was, okay, let's go for this format. It really, it really wasn't for us. We were not looking actually for partners at that moment. And to tell the truth, during Zoom networkings, I was most times the moderator, so I was not even jumping into breakout rooms. But yeah, we were playing with the formats because people couldn't meet, but people needed new partners. I mean, these formats, it skyrocketed in our community. We still do it from time to time before the deadlines because this is what people need. Yeah, and they come, they show up. We had 48 participants. When we did promotion in 1 day and a half, we got, I think, 33 participants. Yeah, because this is something that organizations need. It's not about our ego, it's not about our needs. So if you think you know what young people are looking for, so for example, there is a community, a closed community, I don't know, like in WhatsApp, where you put all your programs and all your opportunities, and you're a super active organization in projects and sending people abroad, and you know that these young people want to travel a lot and go for projects, then for sure it makes sense. Yeah, then you put their opportunities, but also people talk, people ask each other, this might work. But again, so what are their needs? With this community, will you meet these needs? And yeah, what is the value that you are bringing with this community? Yeah, Ksenia, I see your comment. Bravo. Oh my God, project managers. Because the thing is that project managers, it's not only our pain. What we also saw is that people go through our challenges. We have a 14-day free challenge for key one projects, 3-day solidarity projects challenge, a very useful library for small scale projects, for writing small scale projects. And then what happens? People get projects approved and they start writing to Anna and me, and now what? Now I got this grant, but I don't know how to manage the project. I don't know what to do with it. What are my next steps? And then we're like, okay, it looks that we haven't thought it through, because now people know how to write projects, but they don't know how to manage projects. So I can share that for October deadline, I already submitted a small scale partnership with me and Anna, which will become a part of the community if approved. And this is a simple platform of managing key one projects. I hope it will get enough points and there will be enough budget in Bulgarian national agency, because I'm very passionate about this idea and I want to create this simple platform with a lot of material step by step that will be synchronized with your Google Calendar and you will never miss one deadline. Olympia, I meet resistance of people from Italy to participate at a course of writing projects. I don't know why. Olympia, I also don't know why. Because yeah, I mean, we don't know, we are in a different position, we're in a different role. For this, you need just to ask people. Yeah, you need to ask and see what's the resistance there, where it comes from. So, for example, I can say that in the Netherlands or in Finland, yeah, young people do not participate in Erasmus projects. For them, it's not interesting. In the Netherlands, there is no competition in youth sector because, again, there are not enough youth organizations. They don't want to submit projects for Erasmus grants and then deal with all these administration and monitoring. Yeah, Scandinavian countries, for them, Erasmus budgets are not relevant. They get more support on the local level or national level. So again, they are not interested. So the reasons can be very, very, very different. We cannot know all the difference. But what you can do, you can approach these people and ask, why not? Yeah, and then see what is missing. And then if you know what is the reason, then you can work with it. So you can work with the resistance only if you know what's the reason behind. Otherwise, we are a bit in our own bubble. Okay, Ludmila, hello. Zakai, hello. Okay, from Oksana, thanks, Yulia. It was one of my deal when I started. Bianca, which one about project management that you started and you didn't know how to manage projects? Yeah, if so, okay, I see. Like, I hope it is about it. Yeah, that's the same. Again, like what the need we see is that Erasmus, this is something that you don't learn at university. So it's all very much experiential learning, and the beauty of it is that people learn experientially, and then they learn out of their mistakes, and afterwards they can reinforce it and start writing and managing great projects. But on the other hand, there is no education about it. Yeah, it's mostly that people learn it as a part of being an organization and volunteering, or by making the mistakes, losing money, and then waste time in the scope of 1 to 5 years to find their way of doing things. At least that was my way, and I hope that with those projects that we realize and that we put here in the community, yeah, we can change this trend, we can break this trend. Because what I saw is one of the trends that we broke before this community sharing with each other about grant writing, how to get projects approved. Yeah, it was a kind of closed information. There was a lot of competition between organizations. With this community, we changed the trend, because now everyone can drop their post with a question, and then what we see 10, 14, 20 comments with people giving their suggestions. And at the same time, we create challenges, we share our application forms. Yeah, we have webinars where we share our numbers and strategies and trends, and this is all out there, because I believe not in competition but in co-opetition. So how we can still be competitors but at the same time cooperate, and by this raising the quality. I'm not worried, for example, that I mentor in Bulgaria and the international young organizations. For example, for Bulgarians, 3 of organizations that I mentored, they all submitted small-scale projects for the last deadline. I also submitted. So I could see it as a competition, but what I also know, I'm first of all sure in the quality of projects that I write, and I know that I will mentor people, but I will also find new ways of diversify, for example, activities of Synergy Bulgaria, diversify dependence on grants, that we are not grant dependent fully. There is a part of grants, but there is also open market, and it becomes more and more exciting. So the growth is exponential there. Yes, yeah, Bianca, I see your message about K1. Oh, and I see that Salto Youth Participation Information is watching us. Great, guys. I think for today, this is it. I think with timing, we're 1 hour and a half online. I hope it was valuable for you. I hope that the cases that we shared today about digital transformation, of being out there digitally and finding the voice and the approach and the right platform and building community inspired you. If there are more questions upon it, drop them in comments. For sure, I believe that this is the opening of conversation. We haven't spoken so much about digital transformation in the past. We covered bits and pieces, but what I see is huge potential here. And one of the ideas, and let me know in comments if you love this idea, it's again Anna's idea, and we're going to develop it further on. After our success with Ideathon in September, which made it different by having a very clear outcomes that people submit their small-scale projects, we started to think of how to create our offline training courses or PBAs very, very practical. And what Anna said is that, like, look, we know that most NGOs don't have, I mean, let's admit it, yeah, most NGOs have very poor online representation. What I mean is social media and messaging and visual. So why don't we put them together and we create a boot camp on digital for 7 days. When they come, they stay in a huge house. There are photo zones, there are videographers, there are people who can be fixing their website. So we help them to restart it all. We help them to find their way, their path, and their tone, and do it strategically, so that in 7 days they create this minimum package, minimum content, minimum visuals, and they get out of the training course already with a set and to their foundation. And later on, we can support them by webinars and by mentoring, so that it's rolling for the next several months. I'm in love with this idea. So in the next several months, we'll be looking for opportunities to fund it, because I really believe in projects with very strong outcome based on the needs, and this is one of them. So I see from Mert, thanks. So guys, once again, greetings from Poland, and enjoy the rest of your evening. We are in touch and we see each other online as always. Ciao.